Getting started. Basics. After logging into FastBridge using your district-specified pathway, you'll come to the landing page, or home page, which is indicated by the tab which lists the user role you're viewing and the house icon. The landing page will show several options, including horizontal and vertical menus. Each time you click on a tab in the horizontal menu, a new vertical menu will display on the left. We will go through these one by one. We also have 4 quick links which change depending on your user role. These links are the parts of FastBridge which people tend to use frequently based on their role in the FastBridge system, so we wanted to provide you with easy buttons to these places. The thick black bar across the top of the screen is the master control bar for FastBridge. The Knowledge Base button will take you directly to a warehouse of information that can answer many of your questions about FastBridge. This is where educators can find the FastBridge release notes, information about assessments, universal screening, progress monitoring, reports, and more. If educators have questions about FastBridge, the first place to look for answers is within the Knowledge Base. Clicking on the Submit a Request button opens a new tab that displays an opportunity to submit a ticket to the customer support team. All tickets go into a queue, and the tickets are addressed in the order received. For this reason, we recommend that educators check the knowledge base for answers prior to submitting a ticket. Clicking on the Blog option on the Master Control bar opens the blog, which helps educators to stay informed on the latest trends, insights, and product news. The blog provides tips about screening and progress monitoring, as well as best practices to support instruction and intervention. This part of the Master Control bar indicates the school district as well as the role the educator used to access the FastBridge platform. In this example, a specialist from the Moreno School District logged into FastBridge. This part of the Master Control bar indicates how the user is viewing the system. In this example, the user logged into the system as a specialist from the Moreno School District, but they are viewing the system as it appears for the teacher named Lyle Sandbox. Additional information about the different View As options and how they are impacted by user roles is available by reading the text-based portion of this lesson. Educators should choose the Logout option when they are ready to leave the FastBridge system. Users will be logged out automatically after a period of time, though it's best to log out after each use to protect student data. All FastBridge users have a tab for training and resources. There are 4 major sections found there. These include assessment downloads for certain measures, the benchmarks and norms, certification courses for all assessments, and downloadable optional interventions. For those customers who purchase FastFlix, those videos are found in this tab as well. The downloads include PDFs required for some of the curriculum-based measures. These files include the paper forms that teachers present to the student during testing. Some districts have the teachers print these, and others print and distribute them from the district office. If you are following our recommendations and using Fast Track Reading and Fast Track Math, then you'll need to print out student forms for Early Reading English, CBM Reading English, and Early Math. The next tile provides access to the benchmarks and norms. These are available on demand by selecting the correct tab, assessment, and grade level. All of the tables can be downloaded as PDFs and printed. These files show the benchmark cut scores and national norms displayed in the reports. By scrolling down to FastBridge Assessments, you'll see that there is a tile for each assessment. You can click on one of the tiles to learn more about the assessment and get certified to administer it. Once you click on a specific assessment tile, you'll see a screen that looks like this. There will always be 8 lessons for each assessment. Lesson 1 will always provide a high-level overview of the assessment measure. Lesson 2 will always include a demonstration of the assessment in action, either from the student perspective, teacher perspective, or both. Lesson 3 will provide information on standardization and specifically scoring procedures for teacher-administered assessments. Lesson 4 and 5 explain how the assessment differs when used for screening versus progress monitoring, as well as basic report interpretation for each use case. Lesson 6 provides audio and/or video files for you to practice scoring teacher-administered assessments. Lesson 7 includes a 10-question quiz and certification activities in order to show that you can properly administer the assessment with fidelity. It is important to note that certification is not required to administer an assessment. The system will not stop you from giving the assessment if you haven't certified. However, it's very important and highly encouraged because it ensures that everyone in your system is administering the assessments in the same way. Lesson 8 will always provide 2 key resources: an observing and rating administrator accuracy or fidelity checklist for testing administration, and a quick sheet, which is generally a one-page document with directions for giving the test. The available interventions are included in the Training and Resources tab as well, which include teacher-directed protocols in the areas of reading, mathematics, and social-emotional behavior. It is important to note that the interventions are still part of the lab and will be enhanced over time. The interventions are intended for use when a school does not already have materials in a specific skill area needed for one or more students, and schools can and should continue to use their own interventions if they are meeting student needs. The interventions are organized to explain the content and rationale for scripts first. They all have both whole class and small group formats with accompanying downloadable materials. There are recommended progress measures for each intervention so that student process can be monitored. There is a checklist for each intervention that lists the implementation steps. Teachers or observers can use these checklists to determine implementation accuracy. Certification for interventions is not yet available. There are references that document the research pace for each intervention category. When you click on the Screening tab, you will see a bar on the left menu that says Fast Track and another that says All Assessments. If you click on the white box with the plus sign, it will open a drop-down menu with a list of all the assessments your district manager has made available for universal screening. Since most new clients follow our recommendations to use Fast Track, that is the screen I'm showing you today. When you select Fast Track Reading, you'll see a screen that looks something like this. Please note that this is a screenshot that is representative of all different types of assessments students might see as part of Fast Track and is not intended to illustrate all the Fast Track reading assessments students at any grade will complete. You can see students' names and their overall status for completion of Fast Track here. In the next column, you'll see any computer-administered assessment measures that are part of Fast Track. When students have not yet completed both A-reading and auto-reading, a blue Resume button will appear. Once students have completed both measures, their scores will appear in color-coded boxes. The boxes are color-coded to match our benchmark categories of high risk, some risk, low risk, and advanced or college pathway. In the final column, you'll see the teacher-administered assessments. When students have completed the assessments, a score will appear. If the assessment is not yet complete, you'll see a blue Resume button instead. In the upper right, you'll also see a link that will take you directly to the Screening to Intervention report, which is fully populated when you complete all Fast Track Reading or Fast Track Math measures for that grade level. When you click on the Progress Monitoring tab, you will see a list of the students who have a progress monitoring plan. This list will be limited to the level of access a user has. For example, specialists will see all students in the school that have a progress monitoring plan, and a teacher will see all students in their class or classes that have a progress monitoring plan. A group proctor will see everything that the specialist sees, except that there will be check marks instead of scores. As you click on the Reporting tab, note that depending on your user role, you may have access to different reports. For example, teachers and specialists have access to different reports than managers do. This view is showing the reports that are available to teachers. Managers have access to group reports at the school and district levels. FastBridge reports are organized into three main sections that follow a 5-step problem-solving model within an NTSS framework. The first set of reports is under screening and problem identification, followed by reports for analysis and planning, and finally, those for intervention and monitoring. Specific reports